Hi everyone, Rob here again from Natilik, this time with James from Splunk. So James, do you want to introduce yourself, what you do for Splunk?
Well, thanks for having me, Rob. So I'm James Hodge. I'm the Group Vice President and Chief Strategy Advisor at Splunk, or really from Cisco now. I'm part of the Splunk business unit, I think is how we're referring to it now.
No, fantastic, thank you. So Natilik are quite a new Splunk partner actually, so we only partnered about I think 10 months ago now, being quite a big Cisco customer. We're already at Premier level status, so you'd be glad to hear that we've elevated ourselves quite quickly. But for our clients who're not really potentially aware too much of Splunk, what is it you do in the market? What challenges are you solving?
Well, I think we got the backdrop perfect here with the digital resilience side. What we're really seeing in the market, Rob, is customers are starting to look at not just point security solutions, IT monitoring. They're looking at how do we think about overall service of core critical infrastructure for apps? How do we secure it? How do we observe everything that's happening inside of it? Not from a technology point of view, but to enable teams to go and partner better together. So when you get an incident, you can say, hey, Rob, it's not network's fault, it's not database's fault. Let's have a look into the data and figure it out together. And so that's what we're really doing, empowering a new way of working in that digital world.
Okay, so you kind of elevated the conversation from away from data, which is where you kind of predominantly specialize in, but more to outcome-driven events and having that conversation at that level to try and drive not solutions, but outcomes that kind of around digital resiliency. That's really interesting.
100%, because if you look at modern infrastructure now, everything is digital, your business is digital, you rely on everything. We did a cost of downtime report we launched a few months ago that said the top global 2000 on average lost $400 billion to downtime. So on average, $200 million per customer from downtime. The top cause, misconfiguration of IT equipment, and the second one was basic security incidents, like phishing attacks, human error type of things on that.
No, 100%,
so we can go and help reduce all that cost of downtime, because you get that wrong, that slows down your innovation velocity.
Oh no, and if you think about how slow is the new down, right, is what they're trying to say, and if your experience with your clients is based upon that interaction or experience level, they're just going to go somewhere else, right? So if you're trying to service your clients like you're in insurance, if you're not passing out the information quickly enough, they're just going to go to competitors. So understanding how to make that infrastructure always available, always quick, always servicing, then you're going to service your clients better as well.
100%, and because you're a great Cisco partner, if you now start to look at the one Cisco portfolio, we can start to look at AI defense. How do we go and secure that piece of AI? Things like Hypershield, all of the networking side of the business, secure access. And then Splunk can sit on top of that from a security and observability view to get you complete visibility into everything. And the nice thing about Cisco now is you have different Cisco products, they're going to all work great together.
Yeah, and that probably ties us quite nicely into this idea of platformization. So we're hearing that quite a lot at Cisco Live. What's your interpretation of platformization?
So I think platform for me is about how do you go and reuse components and capability. So it's more like a component architecture. When we go and engage with customers, what we really look at is security or observability. But then we say, actually, now we've done this for security, did you realize 80% of the data used for security, you can also go and use for observability? So we can actually go and lower the cost compared to the value extraction you're getting out of that data. And it also stops you working in siloed point solution apps. So it's a different way of working.
Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting, actually. So almost like you can land at the data layer, then expand into the IT layer and drive outcomes. And that's really interesting. So you've probably been here for a couple of days now. What are you seeing from clients? Is it they come up to you and talk about what is platformization, what is digital resiliency? Or is there another agenda on your client's mind this week?
I think the biggest pivot we've seen, definitely we've seen this week, is nothing really is about technology. It is really outcome focused. What are we trying to achieve? How do we go and assure and make a resilient infrastructure, apps, go and get the best consumer experience? And we're really focusing on that. And then we can talk about the technology and how we achieve it. And that's a real shift to say 3, 4, 5 years ago, where it's like, I want to buy an APM solution, I want to buy a security solution. Now we're really on the outcome side. So
no,
it's really great to see in the industry.
No, that's brilliant, James. And thank you for not mentioning AI too many times. I think that's one of the things where we try to carpet bomb in every conversation. But no, it's been really interesting. But if you were to say, to satisfy potentially someone who wants to know about more around artificial intelligence, how are you embedding that into the platform? Do you have things like bots that help your natural processing languages where you can ask a human question and then it comes back with a human answer? Is that into the platform as well?
So to give you a vision, take security. I would love to be able to hire people and just teach them security, not say the Splunk search language, how the Splunk tooling works, those type of things. Let's put effort into security. It also allows me to go and hire a diverse range of people, different creativity. So we're putting a lot of effort into how do we put an assistant into the product to reduce the barrier to entry, something like tier one analysts, just going answering quick questions. But then on the other side, we're using it to go and make more advanced analytics. How do we start to go and take all these disparate signals together and say, hang on a minute, this doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Then actually turn that into natural language to go and give to you in a report to say, hey, Rob, this is what I've seen. This is why I think it's an issue. And here's what you probably might want to go and do about it. So really just making everything smarter.
Well, James, it sounds like you might be doing me out of a job by making it so simple. But that's really, really interesting. Thank you for your time. Is there anything else you wanted to say for a last sign off from a Splunk perspective?
I think from a Splunk perspective, I think the most important thing is having this conversation because we're a technology provider. Cisco definitely a huge technology provider, but the partner ecosystem is absolutely critical to go and deliver that value to the customer. So thank you for inviting me on. Thank you for being an amazing partner with Cisco and Splunk, and we're really excited about the future with you.
Fantastic. James, thank you for your time. For our audience, thank you for your time. Hopefully we'll see you a bit more, talk about Splunk, and come down to the Immersive Centre in Paddington when you want to discuss what Splunk and Cisco could do for you. Thank you.